Folks, there's so much that has happened since the whole idea of the BBI was launched on the stairs of Harambee House in March 2018. For many, it has been an emotional seesaw, moving from liking the BBI to not liking it, to not being sure, etc., etc. And it is therefore very easy for one to completely lose their way, forget why the BBI came up in the first place, end up with no idea where the BBI is going or trying to go, and in the process lose a golden opportunity to make Kenya a better place. Now I'm aware those strongly opposed to the BBI will not like what I've just said, but kindly hear me out. Whatever side of the political divide you belong. Former US President Bill Clinton told us in his biography that making laws is like making sausages. It's very messy. In other words, it is not a process people would like to behold. Just give us the complete law and spare us the gory details of how those laws were made. In other words, even if you hate the BBI, if a good law comes out of it that makes our country, our beloved motherland, a better place, why not? Something else. In Kenya, at least, we have seen that the biggest enemy to a good constitution, the biggest obstacle by far that has stood in the way of getting Kenyans a constitution that works to make our lives better is, wait for this one, the politician. Let me give you a good example. In our long journey to a new constitution, we had something called the Constitution of Kenya Review Commission, CKRC, headed by Professor Yash Palgai, and a man called Mwai Kibaki, who was then not yet President of Kenya, was one of the first people, along with his political party, Democratic Party of Kenya, DP, to present submission to the Yash Palgai Commission. And you will not believe this. Mwai Kibaki is on record as being very strongly for a parliamentary system for Kenya. In his presentation, he completely dismantled what he called the imperial presidency, which he said has really messed up Kenya. And of course, he was talking from experience, having served in government since independence. Now, most Kenyans will know that the views of Mwai Kibaki dramatically changed after he became president. Meaning that somewhere along the way, he forgot or stopped seeing the damage the imperial presidency has done to our country. This is proof, in case you didn't believe it, that politicians always come into a process like this one, like the BBI, with their own personal interests, which will always supersede the interests of Kenyans and the interests of those Kenyans who will come after us. Very selfish, but that's the reality. Now, that long background was necessary, because the way I want to approach this analysis of the BBI proposals is by first getting everything into perspective. In my view, the BBI proposals are like medicine for a child. The medicine for the child is good for them. It will heal them. It will deal with whatever ailment they're suffering from. But then you have the challenge of getting the child to actually take the medicine. Therefore, you sugarcoat it. You make it as sweet as possible. So alongside the sugar, syrup, will be the real medicine. Therefore, I want us to divide the BBI proposals into two. Syrup and the real medicine. There is a lot of syrup in the BBI, we all know, because of the strong opposition from Team Tanga and the Deputy President's camp, right from the inception of the BBI, even before a single proposal had been put forward. What completely put off the Deputy President from the BBI right from the word go was the objective. What was the main objective? To reduce tensions during presidential elections, during general elections in Kenya. Like the major tensions we had witnessed in the country during the 2017 general elections, which had just ended. And it was clear from the onset, that this was going to be done by expanding the executive, which would mean reducing the powers of the imperial presidency that Mwai Kibaki so eloquently talked about to the CKRC, before he changed his mind. In other words, if Deputy President William Samoei Ruto was not vying for the presidency, or perhaps he had a chance of being appointed a prime minister or a deputy prime minister, his views may have been different. That, my friends, is the medicine, the real medicine, and not the syrup. Bottom line, anything in the BBI that does not address tensions during elections in Kenya is syrup. Sugarcoating, to make it easier for this BBI thing to pass. And of course, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I prefer to deal with the medicine right now. We can look into the syrup later. Now, let us remind ourselves of a fact, a very critical and key fact in this discussion. The very first CKRC draft, the bomber's draft of a new constitution, had an expanded executive. The Nzamba Gitonga harmonized draft also had an expanded executive. Bottom line, experts and people who know have all suggested an expanded executive to deal with the problem we have of tensions during elections. They have all suggested an expanded executive. And I'm afraid that is a fact we cannot wish away. But now we have a very strong argument against an expanded executive. And the strongest point against it is that it increases the burden on the taxpayer, who is already greatly burdened. In my view, there is a very easy way of dealing with that problem, which politicians will not like. And that is, we reduce the members of parliament. Make the county's constituencies elect one man and one woman for every county, which will now be a constituency. And that neatly deals with the gender rule without increasing the already huge size of our parliament. And at the same time ensures that we also beat another argument that men have had. We don't want to give women free seats. People have to get elected. That beats that argument. Because these women will be elected. I feel very strongly that this is the best solution for Kenya going forward. Because we have a problem which we cannot wish away. Even if we manage a free and fair presidential election, if the results are too close, where the difference between the winner and the loser is too small, we'll be back to tensions in the country. I am well aware that what I've said is very controversial, but those are my views. And I look forward, to discussing the syrup in subsequent videos. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.